Absolutely. Hold on, I'm talking, brother. 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 Hold on, I'm talking, brother.
Hello and welcome back to the show. Jesus Christ, terrible start. My name is Joe Greenwood and you're listening to Hold On, I'm Talking, Brother. I'm joined by my co-host
Tom. Good afternoon.
Nice 2002 World Cup pause there between England and Japan. How are you doing?
Yeah, doing well. Been itching to get back on the mic and talk over the weekend's events.
Yeah, same. I had a wonderful time watching this. Well, I say that. We'll get into one of the fights in particular. That was not a wonderful experience in any way whatsoever. And well, yeah, whatever. It's some very sad instances in this on this pay-per-view, but some incredible stuff as well.
I mean, nothing sadder, Joe, than
here we go.
My demise. Let's just the elephant in the room. Let's get it out over and done with.
Hold on, let me line up Jada Kiss, the champ is here. 1 second, because ladies and gentlemen, your man Tom Ballum has bottled it.
First live podcast.
He's bottled it, and let me tell you, everyone, Tom can't hear this.
I can see your smug face though. That's bad enough.
Yeah, the champ is here. Joe Greenwood, ladies and gentlemen, is the fucking champion.
I just don't know what to say about it, Joe. We'll get into it.
Can we just get into the fact, by the way, that Tom had been on such a winning streak that he was even talking about not even bothering with the competition anymore.
I thought it might have to be suspended.
And
my own breakaway.
Do you know what this is? Who's like a fighter that... Who's like... Do you know who you are? You're Boston Salmon. Do you remember Boston Salmon?
I do remember.
Regional beast who's getting hyped up, gets up to the main stage and loses to some undercard jabron.
Yeah, we've got a few fallen idols. But,
yeah.
We don't know how it's going to play out yet, Joe. I'm not resigned to this pattern continuing. You know,
yeah.
It's a blip.
You have to hope that I maintain my, let's just say, wild man streak, and that I don't Jose Mourinho this and just go defensive picks from here on out.
It's true.
I won't. Obviously, I won't do that. There's no fun in that for me. But let's get into it.
Yeah.
Main event: Kamaru, the Nigerian Nightmare, Usman. Kamaru Dean Usman, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, knocking Masvidal out in a way that I don't think anyone expected that.
The boxer, the big hitter.
Yeah, madness.
Right behind that Trevor Whitman jab that he established in the Burns fight, and now he's got a right over the top.
Fucking hell, like that was one of the cleanest, most beautiful shots I've seen in a long time.
It's just straight down the barrel. I mean, I don't know if you saw Masvidal's previous knockout loss juxtaposed with this, the one from 12 years ago or something like that.
No, I haven't.
Have you not?
No, should I bring it up?
Well, you might want to take a look. Maybe it'd take a little bit long now. I'll just describe it to you.
Yeah, what was the guy's name? Damn.
Who he lost to?
Damn, is that his name?
I mean, you're only going to get 2 results for Masvidal KO loss, right?
Oh, I found it here. Yeah. Anyway, keep going.
Well, you tell me what you see if you've got it playing, because what you'll see is it's the same strike. It's the absolute same shot.
Is it?
It's the same shot. It's a right straight down the pipe.
This is in Japan as well. Oh my word!
This is another era.
Oh, the good old days as kicks to the head when people are on the ground. Ooh, let's have a look. It's got Masvidal beating someone up here, so I'm not having this knockout just yet. Yeah. So anyway, go on. It's the exact same shot.
Take my word for it. Yeah, the same shot.
Yeah.
Absolute same shot. So, you know, that's Masvidal's big weakness.
It was the big shot. My God, and I can't believe it took 12 years for another person to do it.
Mm-hmm. Got so long that we kind of dismissed it as a possibility. I think we both had an Usman decision, which on his rise had been the safest bet.
Yeah.
But
he's
just
Well, yeah, I think a lot of the narrative around this leading up to it had been about, like, that previous fight and whatever else, but, like, this just leaves no doubt in anyone's mind who the better fighter is in every aspect, really.
Well, I mean,
not in terms of pure striking, but, like, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, okay. I'll tell you what I was saying before that knockout. I was saying, wow, Masvidal looks good here. Masvidal's really establishing his range here.
Yeah.
Usman's got some problems here.
Yeah.
I was just mid-sentence when that shot came out. I think I did hear from you, and you had scored the first round to Masvidal.
Yeah, I'd scored it to him on the back of just damage. Just, like, even just, like, perceived damage. Like, it's like...
I mean, he was ahead on the feet and doing work off his back. And he got back to the feet and started putting more work in as well. Whereas Usman, he just had that bit of top control in the first, and that was it. So I thought it was quite clearly a Masvidal first round. I know, Kirsten the Barbarian. She disagreed with that.
Yeah, well, we'll get into her frankly disgusting attitude later. So that's appalling, genuinely appalling. I mean, after this knockout, I'm over. I hate the whole GOAT, greatest of all time discussion, but it's hard not to with Usman now.
Are we not going to get sucked into that?
Well, we have to.
I think we have to.
Where does Usman rank at welterweight all-time greats?
Well, let's talk welterweight first, because you've also got other arguments, like should he now be the pound for pound?
Yes.
Well, I listened to Felder and Chiesa talking about that. They've got their own roundup show, and Chiesa, I mean, Felder was just like bludgeoning on, and then Chiesa kind of said that of course the pound for pound is who's the informed guy, who's the man right now, who's the hot one, who's laying it down, and of course Usman is indisputably the one doing that right now. 3 title fights in less than a year, whereas John Jones hasn't fought in that whole time. And was questionable in his last performance.
Yes,
but exactly. that doesn't mean then if we like the distinction was from Chiesa that if we're talking about the GOAT, then of course you'd probably say Jones is still ahead of Usman in that. Right? Yeah. Okay, so if we're talking GOATs at just welterweight, where are we putting Usman? I can tell you right now. I'm well. Let's see what you got to say first. But
GSP's first.
GSP's first. Okay.
And then, so then your second ranked guy, you've basically got 2 choices, which is Matt Hughes
or Usman.
Usman. Now, personally, I'm going to go with Usman. Now, I know that there's the recency bias that you could go with this and whatever else, and this isn't me disparaging Matt Hughes because I'm saying it's close between those two. Because Matt Hughes, for whatever you think of him as a man, and he was a monster, a horrendous human being, he was a fantastic fighter who dominated guys, racked up. How many defenses did he rack up? Quite a lot, didn't he?
Well, I've got this here for you. So GSP has 12 title defenses.
Yeah.
Second is Hughes with 9. Then you have to drop all the way back to 5. Where you've got Usman, but he's not there on his own. He's not in.
Who's he got with him? Is it Miletich?
I discounted him. Miletich.
Oh, come on.
I discounted him. But if you go across divisions, I mean, Woodley had 5 defenses, if you include the draw with Thompson.
Okay.
Nick Diaz, if you take in Strikeforce and WEC.
Okay.
And Askren 5 times in Bellator as well. So
it's
congested.
The issue with that is that the reason why I'm having Usman and Hughes close second, to be honest, I'd have them joint, but if I'm going to choose one, I'd choose Usman because I just feel like the level of competition he's facing is that much better. Like those five defenses is worth 9, really. Like that's
and Usman is on a 14 fight streak now. He's tracking down Anderson Silva on that one.
Exactly. And was he ever going to lose? I don't know what equivalent to BJ Penn there would be in this day and age, but he wouldn't lose to that equivalent. Like I know that I'm making this declaration when there could be that guy at lightweight or whoever who could beat him. in whatever world. I mean, but then also, what do you say then about GSP's record? Like, is GSP's time so far in the past now that you have to discount some of the people he's faced? Because personally, I'd say no. I mean, I think beating like Johnny Hendricks, beating.
I don't know if that's the one to bring up.
You don't think he won that fight?
Well, I think it's controversial, isn't it? It wasn't a dominant display.
No, it wasn't a dominant display, but still, all right. But Johnny Hendricks,
not like Usman just putting out Masvidal.
No,
like he just did.
No. But you know what I mean, like Johnny Hendricks, John Fitch, Koscheck, Dan Hardy, Hughes
himself,
Penn.
Well, we're in agreement. But I would put Usman. I'd put him away from Hughes and closing in on GSP already.
Can I just also justify why I take him away from people like Woodley as well?
You can.
Right, but the thing is,
you won't find any contest.
No. But people, you can make a statement about Woodley. To me, the main difference between Woodley and Usman as champions is that Woodley's game plan was always built around the opposition of stopping them in some way and then going from there, whereas Usman has always been about how am I going to inflict myself onto you. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you remember that Damian Maia title defense,
the classic, or Wonder Boy, obviously, both of them.
Yeah, even the Darren Till one, where it's just like he knows Darren Till's going to come forward with that left hand, and he's going to back up, and then he's just going to be able to fire through, either with a takedown or with that right hand, and that's what he did.
Well, I think Till must regret that. I think he made a mistake there. He came on too strong, stepped into the danger zone, and I think he had all the tools there to beat Woodley. That was a real shock for me, actually.
Yeah, I remember going into that fight, me and you were both just like, yeah, Till's going to win this. And then obviously being so totally wrong. I think Till also said that the weight cut was the thing that bothered him the most. He felt like he'd won the fight once he'd cut the weight. Anyway, we're going way off.
It's happening again. Let's talk about. Seeing as we're agreed on that, let's talk about matchups. All right.
Yeah.
So welterweight. I was looking at this earlier. Of course, we've already got some fights established. Wonderboy and Burns.
Yeah.
That's second versus fourth. Edwards and Diaz. Obviously, Diaz a wild card. I've heard people talking about if he beats Edwards, then maybe he jumps the queue. Get out. Don't say anything. No, don't encourage that. No.
I'm not a fan of that, but that is what will happen. Well,
I'm going to just blast past that. All right. So that leaves Colby without a fight, Masvidal obviously without a fight.
Yeah.
Masvidal only down to fifth. Still ahead of Luque and Chiesa, 6th and 7th.
Oh, Masvidal, he's not fighting Michael Chiesa. Let's get that straight. The man's a pay-per-view draw.
Yeah.
The only people he's go on.
I mean, Masvidal. I want Masvidal Colby at some point. At some point, I want that. Not now.
I think later this year he's going to come back, and I think it's going to be a celebrity fight. I think it depends on this. Does Poirier beat McGregor?
Yeah.
And then you do McGregor Masvidal. It's just like let's really let's
It'd be nice
sell
if you
some.
have Masvidal coming off a win, wouldn't it? Though it'd still be nice.
I don't think it matters. He's one of those.
I don't think it matters.
He's one of those guys now, like Nate Diaz, like Conor McGregor. It doesn't matter.
I think it's a slight discredit to put him in there with Diaz. I think it's a slight discredit. Like Masvidal has.
Oh no! I mean as a pay-per-view draw.
As a draw.
Yeah.
Oh,
but as a fighter, they're not on the level.
No, they're not on the level, and Masvidal is a genuine contender.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously not anytime soon.
No.
But there's no realm in which Diaz should be legitimately fighting for a belt. He can't even be ranked. If you're going to put Diaz in the rankings, come on.
If I think about welterweight and I think about that top 10, who does Nate Diaz beat? Does he beat Vicente Luque?
No, I don't think so.
So you don't think?
I'd like to see that fight.
That would be great. And I know Luque called him out, but like, does he beat Chiesa? Does he beat?
No, definitely not.
So I mean, we're slightly giving away our prediction for the Edwards Diaz fight here, but like, because I think we're both sort of.
You still got your wild card streak. You might see a video.
I might see. You know what, man? If I get hyped up by a hype package, I got hyped up by those CM Punk, building a fighter. Do you know what I mean? Like those half-hour episode things.
I might need to resort to the dark arts anyway. Now I'm coming off a loss. You don't know what, I might lead you astray.
Yeah. So who do you want for Masvidal next?
Well, as you say, I think there's lots of matchups that are fun for Masvidal. So leave that one open.
Yeah. Okay.
Like any fight with Masvidal's a good fight. I don't want to watch him fight Chiesa. I'll tell you that. But something fun.
Yeah.
I would prefer Colby to fight someone else.
Yeah,
before
I agree.
Before Usman next.
Yeah.
I did. That is a great fight. I want it, but not just yet. But who are you going to be? Chiesa Colby? Should that happen?
Chiesa Colby is what I would do. I think they're going to go with Covington, Usman. Covington better get in there now, by the way. Because if Nate Diaz wins, he ain't getting a title fight. Let's get that out of the way. And also, well, we'll get to it a bit later. Should we talk about this now? What was announced or rumoured?
We're talking about welterweight now?
Welterweight.
Yeah, bring it up, yeah.
Hamza versus Nick Diaz. That was offered.
Wow, okay. I heard about Nick Diaz maybe fighting, Carlos Condit or something like that. Robbie Lawler,
Yeah.
type.
Well, if one of those guys, if Nick Diaz faces Hamza, whoever wins that could get a title shot, which is mental. Like, it's. I don't know. I don't even know what to say.
It's a shame because Usman really is being an exemplary champ, right? He's fighting all the top competition. He's not ducking anyone,
no.
and he's finishing people. He's active.
He should fight Wonderboy in my mind.
That's why I kind of want to leave Usman open. Now I know we want to see him get back in there if he can, but hopefully Wonderboy can beat Burns without going to any predictions there, and then that's the fight to make. Wonderboy has to get a shot if he beats Burns.
Yeah, and also, yeah, absolutely, and also if Wonderboy doesn't break his hands like he does in every fight, but it's so, what can you really say about Usman? It's going to be the Covington fight, I think, because Dana loves that fight. He loved the first one. You could probably do it in September, October time.
And maybe that's enough time for Wonderboys to fight the winner.
Oh, what? So, you do it in September and you fight the winner in, January? Something like that?
Well, Wonderboy is fighting Burns. When's that? That's in...
that's soon, isn't it? That's soon.
Is it?
Yeah, it's soon. I think that's July?
Anyway, we got some some nice matchups there and good matchmaking. Let's be fair.
Yeah, the
right guys are fighting.
Yeah, exactly. Right, Rose Namajunas versus Zhang Weili. We both got this so wrong. We could also, let's just talk about Rose Zhang first. Perfection.
I don't know what to say. Of course, really happy for Rose. Phenomenal knockout. Let's just talk about the knockout first. I don't know if you've seen, but Weili has this in and out motion. Where that's how she pulls away from the leg kicks and calf kicks, and she's trying to do that, and she thinks that Rose is going low.
Yeah.
And Rose, without showing anything in her hips, very light, very gentle, flips up top. Just boops her.
Doesn't see it coming.
She's pulling her lead leg away, and just straight up. No power.
Yeah, it was just a lovely, clean shot where I just honestly was so shocked when I saw it. Like, I was so blown away that she managed to pull that off. Like, that's one of the most incredible knockouts that I've seen.
Early stoppage.
Do you think so?
Oh, of course not. What? I can't believe that was a discussion.
Keith Peterson with his Siggy breath, according to Dom Cruise. I've been there, Zhang. Anyway, yeah, it's. I don't know. It's not an early stoppage. I felt really bad for Zhang because let's talk about this as well. And in relation to Usman, booing her is pathetic.
Well, we haven't talked about the crowd being back full stop. I mean,
I'd rather not.
I'd rather not. I'm kind of surprised I'm saying that. But
yeah, I don't like it. I didn't like it. I mean, I get that it's a Masvidal crowd. They're gonna boo Usman. I'm not so against that. But like, let's just think about this. You got Zhang Weili going in there. Let's ignore the fact that she's Chinese for a moment. What is her record and history in the UFC? She's the champion of the best women's division, and she had the fight of the year last year, which you could also say, in my mind as well, is one of the top 10 greatest fights of all time.
Yeah.
And you boo her. You boo her, and she finishes people as well. Like, this isn't like some pitter-patter bullshit that you get in some women's fights. She finishes people brutally, and you're booing her. I think that's pathetic, utterly pathetic, and it's purely because she's Chinese. It is, isn't it? Like, she's Chinese, so we're booing her.
Well, it's a way of expressing support as well for the hometown. Well,
You can
home country fighter.
You can support your guy without booing the other person. Cheer really loud for Rose.
You don't think Wiley's perfected the hook personality,
No. Oh, what, the heel persona?
The heel, sorry.
Heel persona, yeah. That's singing like Hook. What, Captain Hook. No,
it's
no.
H and two vowels.
Yeah. No, the heel persona. No, I think, honestly, like, I felt bad for her walking into that and just being booed for no reason. And, yeah, and in relation to the crowd, yeah, it's amazing, like, when you hear them when Zhang gets knocked out, or Usman knocks out Masvidal, and also Usman getting booed when he's doing his post-fight. You've just seen a guy land a perfect shot, and you're booing him for it.
Which is the better knockout? Which one will you remember?
Usman.
Usman, yeah.
The vision, the water. Yeah,
it's amazing, some of the photographs that have come out.
Yeah.
And the way he rocked through him with the shoulder afterwards, just like shucked him down.
Leant into it, stepped into it, and turned his arse into it. And the best thing about that shot for me is that he set it up with the fake jab that just pulled the hand out the way. Oh my days! I was creaming myself over that. Kirsten said I had to stop watching fighting for that day because I was so excited for that fight. She said, like, no more fighting. And so I was like, okay, fine. But yeah, what do you even say about this fight? That Rose was just incredible, and you know, I mean, how do you feel about her afterwards when she's like crying and like?
I feel really happy for her. And it's all interesting. This, you know, I am the best. And I don't know. From the outside, you look at that's maybe covering for some insecurity or uncertainty, and I know that you didn't see that. You didn't think that she was. I think I used the word fragile.
No, I don't think she's fragile. There's a thing to me though where it's just like, you know, that like, this is the reason why I don't have this personality, is that I wouldn't be saying to myself, I'm the best, because I was just like, I would never think that. Not in a like, obviously I'm not the best. It's just that like, I would just never think that saying that would work, but it clearly does for her. She clearly needs that, you know.
Right, like, I belong here. This is, yeah.
This reaffirming of like, I am that good, so. But what would you have next for Rose?
Are there great matchups? You've got... Yeah, go on, hit me.
Valentina Shevchenko.
Well, this is the thing, though. This is the thing. I mean, we haven't got on to Valentina yet. But this is the thing. Who's Valentina's next matchup? The only one... It's obviously everyone's looking at Nunes.
No, Namajunas.
What, Namajunas goes up?
Namajunas goes up.
I mean, don't we need to build up some more of these ladies rather than just... You know, now we need another Super League with Namajunas, you know.
Namajunas versus Nunes would be incredible. But
Wiley.
Yeah. I mean, all right, at strawweight, who is there? Mackenzie Dern's on a run. You know, personally, I'm actually you know what? That's actually a good idea. Have another card later in the year, headline it with Valentina versus whoever and Rose versus whoever, and just build them up fighting on each other's cards so that they're on the same timeline. Have Rose face Mackenzie Dern, have Valentina face Miranda Maverick or whoever. And I like Miranda Maverick, by the way. I think she's a good fighter. Problem is that she's predominantly a kickboxer, and she's facing Valentina Shevchenko, potentially, who is, you know, a bit of a buzzsaw.
Let's move on to Valentina on that note. The buzzsaw, which Andrade experienced firsthand. I mean, this wasn't competitive at all, was it?
No, she tired her out by taking her down. Taking her down and people not expecting that at all. The grappling was like, I couldn't believe the levels of difference between those two. Like Andrade couldn't even like power out of her. Up against the fence, she just didn't have anything for her. And Shevchenko's takedowns against the fence were incredible. Like just trips and pulls and whatever else. Really well done. And then to get a Matt Hughes style crucifix with ground and pounds. Brother, is this 2003? Because I am loving it. Like, it is. That was brutal, really. And
yes, it was brutal. And at the same, like, I don't want to attack a fighter when they're down and they're coming off a big loss like that. But perhaps when we're saying that Andrade deserves to be in that kind of rarefied air with the other names we've mentioned, maybe we were overstating her case a little bit because she's had that knockout power and because we're so unfamiliar with power in the women's divisions.
Yeah, I agree. I think also we don't know what was. Listen, I think it's just the case that Valentina's just an all-round better fighter. I think she would have beaten her on the feet regardless.
And maybe Andrade is not big enough for that division.
Yeah, she's a weird case, but she's almost too small for 115 in a weird way. Like, I mean, she's technically the right size for it. She's just a weird case, isn't she? Where it's just like the power translates through all the divisions. It's just she doesn't have the reach on them. She's better than 99% of the fighters.
I mean, we haven't seen her get like manhandled apart from Wiley just blasted her. But I'm talking about the grappling and unable to resist a crucifix.
Yeah.
That's she's undersized.
Yeah, that says Shevchenko. Also, that's Shevchenko's second crucifix finish in her flyweight title defenses. I mean, who's going to step up to her? I know that they were trying to build Macy Barber, but that's not going to happen. She was so desperate to try and beat John Jones's record of youngest ever champion that she kind of ignored the fact that you actually have to be a good fighter, and that also John Jones is a freak, basically, and to try and compare yourself to that is ridiculous. Roxanne Modafferi.
You're not going to get much reaction out of me.
Yeah, so I'd say, personally, if I'm doing the pro wrestling style booking, have these two fight again in August, same card, and then build to like a November, December card with both of them headlining.
You're on the same page as Dana then. You're not having her versus Nunes at some stage. That's what she wants. That's what she wants. That's her whole build up to this fight was like, I'm coming for Nunes eventually.
Yeah, I think that's undeniable for me. It will be undeniable at a certain stage, but I would give her the Namajunas, personally.
Ooh.
They've done champ for less.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I don't wanna,
Let's move on. Let's move on to well, what do you even say about this? Chris Weidman and Uriah Hall. Thank you, Uriah Hall. I should have gone for a TKO. My win would have been more dominant then. So.
Well, I had sent you some taunts.
What time? You sent that to me 11 o'clock at night.
I was just feeling pretty smug and happy with myself. Like Joe's really.
I've screwed the pooch.
Yeah, screwed the pooch.
Can I break down for you what happened for me with this card.
The moon's aligned, Joe.
No. My watching of it. So
Okay.
I was at work, and there's a guy at work he's a UFC fan, MMA fan, and I was just like, I was finishing work, and I'm just like, I said to him, have you watched it? And he said like, no, whatever. And he said like, do you know anything that's happened? And I was just like, no, not yet. Although I think I have an idea of something happened in my mind. I saw a tweet, and I was just like, okay, I have an idea of something that might have happened. He said like, oh, you're talking about the leg break? And I was just like, no, not the fucking leg break. I have got no idea that there was a leg break.
Shit.
So like, I'm walking home then, and I'm like, I've got this anxiety in my chest of just like, has Usman broken his leg? Has Usman broken his leg?
Wow.
So I had to. So then I'm at the bottom of my hill, and I'm like, oh my god! I'm literally stood there, and I'm like, what?
Catching your breath. Yeah.
What am I gonna do?
Preparing yourself.
Like, I can't go to sleep now because I work nights, so it's just like I can't go to sleep. So I had to go on Twitter, and I typed in UFC leg break, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to search this. I'm going to see who broke their leg, and then I can relax, and then I can be like, okay, no surprises there. And it goes, Chris Weidman broke his leg, and I was just like, oh, thank God. Like, that was, and I felt terrible that I did that.
Yeah.
I watched the UFC, and I forgot about the leg break. I slept, and I forgot about the leg break. And then when I saw it, I almost puked.
Oh, wow. I mean, what an absolute freak event. Freak event. I just rewatched it now.
Why?
Reconnect with those feelings. Well, because it's been a few days, and I was thinking, like, where can I watch this? And of course, Dana White has got it on his own Twitter feed. Yes.
Did you see the tweet that Dana posted of first UFC knockout with no strikes thrown?
Yeah.
Does he hate Chris Weidman?
The All-American. It seems hard to believe that he would hate him.
Yeah, I think he might do because of Anderson Silva, like ending the Anderson Silva run. I know that.
I think Dana had his issues with Anderson.
I thought that they sorted them out though. Like Anderson became a bit of a company man. I thought that was what was happening. Whatever. Like, I mean, well,
there's not so much we can say about this really. It's just
we're not going to say who does Weidman face next, are we? But like,
what happens to Weidman? He's
retires. You have to retire.
Yeah. Well, obviously Anderson did he?
Yeah, and look what happens. He got smoked by fucking Uriah Hall, but you know,
That's a bad way to go.
It's a
bad
bad
way to sign off.
Yeah, and like Jared Cannonier, you know, he was fighting guys who were way too young for him. He should have been facing. I mean, who should he have been facing? Really, GSP. GSP. He should have been facing like. Well, he fought Michael Bisping actually. That would have been a fair enough one. But like, there was nobody really for Anderson to face. He should have just been let go. But I don't know. I guess he's a pay-per-view draw, isn't he? So.
Are you on Twitter right now?
I'm not. No.
Well, I don't mean do you have a profile?
Yeah.
Because Weidman's just released another image of his injury. I don't know if you could.
I've seen the X-ray. Is there another?
There's from just before we went live today. I think you might want to take a look.
Oh God, is this going to be horrendous? Like,
in a sense.
Okay.
Just his latest tweet.
Can I just ask as well? Do you think there'd be any money in? Oh my God.
Poor Chris.
That's very well. Lucky Mrs. Weidman. And yeah, listeners can figure that out.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I was going to ask, by the way, do you think there's any money in me doing a video of when trash talk goes wrong, Weidman versus Hall? But no. Okay. God, what? I'm going to throw this out there. Do you think both of these guys retire?
Well, no, I think Hall's, feels like he's on a hot streak.
Does he think that?
Well, yeah, I mean, actually, was looking. I think they put him up to eighth in the rankings or something.
Wait.
Yeah, they moved him up.
Fucking hell!
Chris Weidman. He checked it. I mean, he did check it.
That's true.
He steps into it a little bit, So.
I mean, that is actually a good point. Is that he did check the kick, and you don't see that much with low leg kicks, particularly early in a fight, which is strange to me that you don't see that more often. But man, I was really quite sad when I watched this. The weird thing as well is that it's not like when Anderson did it against Weidman, because that was the main event. That was it, and there wasn't another fight between them after that. You had to just continue on. You had to just watch these title fights, and in the back of your head you're thinking, I've basically seen the end of this guy's career. He's 36 years old. He'll be back next when he's 38, 30, 37, 38.
Well, Morata just came back. Thiago Santos at light heavyweight.
I guess.
No, I mean, I think it would be better for Chris and his family and his everything if he retired. I worry that he won't elect to do that.
I was
for Uriah Hall. He's gone up in the rankings. He's gone past Gastelum, ranked 8th.
Who does he face? Darren Till.
I mean, it would be quite a fun fight.
I think Brunson Till would be the one I would go for, but that's. I don't know, Shabazian?
Yeah, there's that possibility as well.
Yeah.
Holland.
Oh, Holland would be fun.
Yeah.
I just don't think Uriah Hall's going to fight again. I think the mental side of this has always been his issue. And by the way, they were saying that as he was walking into the cage. He's always had the mental side as his issue. And then he's just like, oh, he's just ended this guy's career, so who do you want to face next? It's like, this guy isn't fighting for a while, I don't think. I mean, I know he's healthy and whatever else, but I'd be surprised. I'd honestly be surprised if he fought again.
So no matchups for either of these guys then?
No. Anthony Smith, Jimmy Crute. Let's move on to this. Surprising thing about this, and
let's just say we both had Crute by knockout.
Yes. Oh, right. Yeah. Well, the thing I want to mention about this, also in relation to Usman Masvidal, is that it's funny that the hot new technique in MMA is a jab.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought this? Like a simple jab is what is getting people all messed up, and it's like, actually, now that I think about it, who has a good jab in MMA? Jorge Masvidal had one. Doesn't really use a jab anymore. He just seems to blast people instead. Holloway, yeah, and also, yeah, actually, that's a really good point. Actually, Max Holloway has a fantastic jab.
Mm-hmm. GSP fought behind a good jab.
Yeah, GSP. Adesanya a little bit more of a flicking jab than anything else, but they're not many. So if you can develop a good jab, it's going to bamboozle some of these guys, because it's just like, it's such a regular rhythm that you can hit a guy with that can kind of sort of like throw them off.
Well, we watched Mike Perry get jabbed into oblivion a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, that's
against
good.
D-Rod.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, very interesting.
Like you'd never faced a jab before. He was just caught stuck on the end of it every time.
Mike Perry's boxed, by the way. Like, he's had boxing matches, and it's just like completely bamboozled by a jab. Yeah, it's really, that was the thing that I found most interesting about this. And also Jimmy Crute having the who is it? Sean O'Malley, Michael Chandler foot thing happen, where it's just
yeah. Well, so round one,
Smith.
It was Smith, but funny that when Crute got desperate, he was able to flip Smith onto his back so easily twice.
That's why Kirsten wanted him to continue fighting. Like I don't know, it's madness. Listeners, let me explain something. My girlfriend was watching this fight with me, and we were watching the foot rolling over, and I was like, oh, the doctor's going to stop this, whatever else. And she's like, why? He can continue fighting. I was just like, he's got one leg. He's standing on one leg. She's just like... By the way, she used this term as well. She said, like, why doesn't he just pull guard? Can you imagine if Jimmy Crute just like, right, round two, right, I'm on my back, get in here. Do you know what? Also, I feel like if he did that, I think Anthony Smith would have obliged him. I think he would have actually gone in.
He's such a nice guy.
Yeah, he's just like, yeah, fuck it, let's go. Yeah, I honestly was... And she made the point that, well, surely you want to see someone die in there. And it's just like, that's not what I want, like, at all. And she tried to like break it down like I'm some like this is the Colosseum or something. It's like it's not like they're going to set a line on poor Jimmy Crute now for losing that fight. Like, but are you surprised they ended the fight like that or not?
No, God, you have to stop the fight. I mean, I do think they were really looking at Jimmy because it was a bit of a funny one, wasn't it? He was kind of moving a little bit, and then I was like, maybe he's always had that. You know? Maybe he's just got a stanky leg. Like,
Yeah.
all right, fair play, brother. You know, fighting through it.
Yeah, I think also.
But when you see he's facing up to the doctor. And then he comes out like to beat his chest, like, you know, gladiator raw, and just like buckles on the dragon. Like,
By the way, the crowd is going like, oh no, like, and then when he's like, nah, they start booing. It's like, well, what do you want? Like, it's a really weird card. It was a really weird, particularly those first two fights where I'm like, this card's not going very well.
Well, followed by
yeah,
later on that really early stoppage of Wiley, and then I mean it was a weird card. It was a great card. But... Yeah,
5 finishes technically, but yeah, I'm not sure really. It was a bit of a weird one. I wonder if this is going to be a thing though of actually trying to do that to an opponent, of trying to like. Because it was behind the knee, wasn't it? It was that sort of like slightly higher up, and you're not really supposed to kick the knee because of it hurts. But if you could try and wrap your foot around it, maybe
because it hurts.
Because it hurts. No, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Like that's the bit that you're not supposed to kick because it especially hurts. Is what I'm supposed to say.
Yeah, it's damaging.
You take more damage by kicking it than giving it. Yeah, is what I'm supposed to say. Because it hurts. That's the analysis that everyone is here for. Who's next for Anthony Smith?
Well, we've seen him fight a lot of guys in this division. We were both a little bit down on him, clearly unjustly so, and he expressed surprise himself that he was going into this fight as the underdog. I can't get it out of my mind, still, what we said in the pod the other day about, you know, him versus Glover, and actually how that ended up going. So I don't, and I'm looking at these just stacked with Eastern European destroyers, from top to bottom.
Yeah, the Eastern Bloc of that is light heavyweight. It's.
I mean, Ankalaev, Rakic,
Johnny Walker.
Krylov, Johnny Walker would be fun.
Johnny Walker, for him, has Jimmy Crute fought Ryan Spann?
Yes, I think so.
He did. Yes, I think he did. I think he has. I'm just thinking of like some light heavyweight jabron that he could fight just to get a win and start moving back up again. But what was that man? Ion Cutelaba? Maybe he could fight Cutelaba.
Hold on, I'm just trying to confirm. Was it a UFC 234 or did it get cancelled? Spann and Crute.
Oh, that might have been cancelled.
Yeah. Wait.
Are you on Tapology?
I'm not. I'm frantically Googling.
Just go Jimmy Crute Wikipedia.
Yeah, that would be an easy way to do this.
Yes, it would be. Yeah, I would just give Jimmy Crute a jabroni. I like Jimmy Crute personally. Stands and bangs.
His stock didn't go down in this fight.
No.
He did say though, I think I saw on one of his social medias that he, you know, the cliche of the sport giving the highest highs and the lowest lows, and he was kind of reflecting whether it's worth it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, he's just had a bad injury, and you know, it's probably a bit emotional.
Yeah, I'm not gonna pay that much heed. Like when I see there's a fight night announcement and Jimmy Crute's on it, I'll be like, all right, fine. Like I'm not really.
So he hasn't fought Ryan Spann, so let's sign off on that one.
Spann, Crute, Walker, Smith. I'm happy with those.
Yeah.
Overall, this card was a roller coaster. That's one way of putting it. But I'd say overall a roaring success for the UFC in front of a crowd. Slightly weird. Did you see the Friday weigh-ins?
No,
the press conference. Sorry, the press conference.
I think so.
With the governor of Florida.
Yeah, that's America. I don't know. So American. And they were like also jostling between each other, the mayor and the senator, for like
mic time.
Yeah, for mic time. They were like stomping around the stage and then just blathering on the same stuff. I don't know. I'm not going to take a stance at all on whether there should be crowds or whether governors should be up there saying these things.
Yeah. I just wish we could get to the point that we had. The one I always think about was when. Do you remember when Khabib fought Edson Barbosa? That was in that was in New York.
I remember Barbosa looking helpless, looking at his eyes. I can hear the references.
Oh really?
Yeah, just this wide-eyed staring up.
That is one of those rare times when you see a fighter looking like that, so you know how good Khabib is. He got another trained fighter looking like that.
I think Poirier had the same expression.
Poirier wasn't as bad, I don't think. Poirier, he
came back to his corner. He said, "I just cannot get this guy off me."
Yeah. Man, I love Khabib so much. Anyway, I was thinking about Khabib, and he fought on, I think it was Cyborg versus, what's her name? She's married to Maheta. They just had a kid.
Yeah. Stolyarenko.
Kunitskaya.
Yana.
I think Yana Kunitskaya. I think it was that card. And I remember Khabib, obviously he smashed Barbosa, and this guy's Russian Muslim. He's got a big hat, and the crowd are cheering this guy, and they're in love with this guy, and they're just so amazed by what they've just seen. I wish we could have crowds like that. Like, maybe it's just Florida. Maybe it's just Florida.
I think also you've probably got a lot of people who want to be able to say that they were there at the first major reopening indoors, and it's like a celebrity event, as we saw, Jake Paul and.
Let's not.
Yeah, well, let's not. Yeah, okay. But
all right, hold on.
Think you've not got like hardcore aficionados of the sport there.
There's a lot of casual fans there, which I get, and that's fine. By the way, talking about the Jake Paul Cormier thing, I'm so disappointed in Cormier. Like, trying to angle for a fight with this guy. And
Is he doing that?
He said, like, I'll fight him in MMA, and it's just like, come on, bro. Like, that is embarrassing. And by the way, listeners, me and Tom love Daniel Cormier. Like, this is like our dad, basically. We want him to be our dad. Like, we love Daniel Cormier. So for him to debase himself like this, it's pathetic.
I mean, he's retired now. It must be a confusing time for him.
Yeah, he seemed all right with retirement though. I feel like I think he's like one of those fighters who's dealt with it quite well, to be honest.
Well, you'd expect him to. He deals with everything else quite well. But still, maybe he wants to be seen in that light, that he's a fighter.
Yeah,
he just wants to fan the flames, tease a bit.
The thing is, that you have to remember, this guy's been a fighter since he was a kid, like wrestling, whatever else. He's got that alpha mindset. So when you've got some like snotty-nosed kid who... I honestly, it wouldn't matter if Daniel Cormier was like late 50s and Jake Paul was in his 30s. I'd still fucking... Cormier would smoke him. It wouldn't even be close.
Well, obviously in an MMA fight.
Yeah, in an MMA fight.
And in a boxing fight?
In a boxing fight now, Cormier would win easily, I think.
Now?
Yeah.
Now, yeah.
He's a heavyweight. Like, he's
even heavier weight now.
He ain't cut into 205 again, is he?
Open weight.
Oh my god, open weight, and you fucking Sakuraba's ears just start tingling. Oh, let me in there. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a bit pathetic, isn't it? Anything else from this we want to talk about?
What about matchups going forward? Recently announced fights. Got some bad news.
Dillashaw.
Sandhagen Dillashaw's off.
Yeah, very sad. Honestly, you could. How long is Dillashaw out for? Have they said?
He wanted to come back in June, I think, so not too far away.
Let's stick him on the Adesanya card.
Signed, yeah. You get no opposition from me.
No, hold on. No. August. Undercard. Jan versus Sterling 2.
Oh,
you know I love
amazing.
you. You know I love that. You know I love the matching.
Yeah,
Of
course.
And I love the
And they
backup.
should-
I love the backup thing.
They should do more of it. They should do more of it. It's always great when you get like a kind of Grand Prix effect, and you've got one weight class really showing out.
Yeah.
And all the interactions backstage, the build up.
Yeah. What did you think of Vittori Adesanya being announced?
Given the reasoning, that Whittaker couldn't take it on short notice, and they were kind of just like stuff him in there, and he obviously wants to really prepare for Adesanya, and he's a father, and big fans we are of Robert Whittaker, so I want the best Robert Whittaker. Chuck Vittori in there,
and I want that in New Zealand, Australia, in a arena.
Yeah, in an ideal world, yeah, absolutely.
Like, there's no need to do that in America. There's no need to whatever. Also, I just think Adesanya, Vittori. I think right now, the trash talk between those two will be great. I think it's just gonna, and whoever wins that fight will then. I mean, if Vittori wins that fight,
Whittaker's still the next.
Yeah, Whittaker has to be next, no matter what. I was thinking about Robert Whittaker the other day, actually, and when I think of a mixed martial artist, I think he's almost the ideal mixed martial artist in a way.
Perfect all-rounder.
Perfect all-rounder. But that's the thing, he isn't a jack of all trades. He's got great jiu-jitsu, he's got fantastic striking, he's got really good wrestling, that he can, there's...
He's super durable, he's got great stamina.
Yeah, and also, all-round lovely bloke.
Yeah.
Really, really funny guy. And doesn't take anything personally. That's the type of fighter for me, where it's just if you give me a promotion with just guys filled up with that, obviously I love specialists, and my preference is for specialists, like an Adesanya type, a Damian Maia, whoever you want in that regard. But yeah, anyway, going back to Vittori Adesanya, I'm fine with it as long as Whittaker is definitely next, and it's not Costa Whittaker announced. You know what I mean?
I mean, I want to see that. Hold on.
Yeah,
I want to see that.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's risking Whittaker, and it's kind of legitimizing Costa.
There's no need. There's no need to do it.
Who else could you? If it's not Vittori, and it's got to happen soon, who are you going to put in there? Is there anyone else that you can really say you can't put Brunson in there off his little run?
Uriah Hall's 4-fight run. Till now.
Come on, not yet.
Cannonier no. Shabazian no. Brunson. Brunson.
That's why. Yeah, I think Brunson needs one more. He's coming off the Holland win. If Brunson bests, someone in the top 5, top 6. Yeah. Then he's got to be next, he's got to be in the conversation, should I say? But he's not in the conversation yet.
Yeah, Brunson's in a weird position whereby Whittaker's next, and
does Till have a fight lined up?
No.
Yeah.
No. Till's a weird one where I think his career is not going to be that much. He's not going to have a career for much longer. His injury's so bad. And did you see his statement? I don't have cartilage, and it's mate, you ain't gonna be fighting for very long.
Well, Usman doesn't have knees.
Yeah, but Till trains like an idiot. Have you seen the training videos? Hard sparring, really brutal sparring, and I think I mentioned this to you before. I worked with a guy who he trained with Team Carbon. They did a course, and he went to 4 or 5 days. It was a 4 or 5 day course, and he said it was brutal, absolutely brutal. What you were having to do. He said it was teaching was amazing, but the training itself was brutal. And it's probably hasn't got a long career, I don't think, sadly. But I think if Till wins one fight, he's going to get a title shot, because Adesanya has that much pull. It's like Usman with Masvidal. He can just say, "I want that fight," and he's going to get it.
Well, it would be a fun fight again.
Yeah.
Talk memes, for the younger generation. Any other fights you want to look at? Anything that's been announced that you want to highlight, or do you want to look ahead to the next card, perhaps the next?
Well, I mentioned Hamza Nick Diaz earlier. I mean, what do you even say about that? That's.
Give me it. That's what you say. Let's go.
Yeah, I think that's. I'm not against it per se. I just personally, I would have Nick Diaz Masvidal. The narrative is there. Masvidal's already trying to sell it, you know, of just like, I beat your brother up, you know, I get if you want to come in here and fight me, you can get it too. I think that's the angle I'd go for.
We probably should credit Masvidal for the way he took that loss to Usman, by the way.
Oh yeah,
like a real man.
Praised it, praised it, and said, "I love it. I thought it was great." It's like, what do you say to a guy like that? It's different to the Askren thing when Askren lost to Masvidal and to Jake Paul, like, where he's like, "Oh, I don't care," or whatever, and it's just like, the problem with that angle is it's just like people go like, "Well, you clearly do," and it's like, I genuinely don't think Askren cares. But if Askren came out and just said like, "Yeah, Masvidal was brilliant. That was incredible what he did," it comes across as a bit bitter that I don't care thing. Because it's like, if you don't care, then why are you competing? Whereas Masvidal is praising the guy's technique and he's bigging up the champion. You know, it's the pro wrestling thing of like, when you trash talk and you say, that guy's shit, and then you beat him, all you've done is beaten some shit, isn't it? Like, you've just beaten someone who's not very good. So, anyway, I'm rambling here. The next card, Oliveira Chandler. We're not going to go into predictions now, obviously. Well, hold on.
Well, you don't want to look at this fight night. You've got your boy.
Oh, yeah, I was a bit premature there, yeah. My boy, Yuri Prohashka.
Fighting Dominic Reyes.
Poor Dom. I don't know. Well, he's fighting the super athlete Dom Reyes. 50 minutes on the exercise bike, but fucking hell. What else is on this card, by the way?
Let me run you through it.
Okay.
I guess we're not going to go into it, but
no.
Just tell me, give me your
I'll go
three most exciting predictions.
I'll throw a couple predictions in there.
All right, we're going like, in that case, we're going 10-second predictions.
Okay.
I'm going to say the fight. You say, all right. Let's test your knowledge here then. First up, we got Poliana Botelho versus Luana Carolina.
Who? I don't think I've seen these women fight, and Tom knows this. I watch with the women's fights.
Right.
I watch the women's fight. Hold on.
Joe, you're bringing the pod into disrepute.
Hold on. Let me bring this card up as well.
Let's do it the other way around. I think.
Hold on.
Let's revert to expert and funny man dynamic. Reclaim an expert.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
Let's move on. After that you got Merab.
Who?
This is a bantamweight.
Oh, Diaz.
Georgian.
Yeah. How do you say his name? That's what I love about the fight nights, by the way, because you just get some random Eastern European name popping up, and you're just like, I've got no fucking.
He's a beast, Merab. He's fighting Cody Stamann, so that's a good fight.
Ooh. Staman's going to get worked on now. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm not. I'm going to have Merab.
Wrestle to death.
Yeah, Merab's going to win that. Yeah, for me.
Wrestle to death.
Yeah, wrestle to death.
Okay, but by decision, presumably.
I'd go decision. Yeah.
Okay. At middleweight, you got Sean Strickland fighting Jotko.
Yeah, that'll be a good fight. I'm always a little bit down on Jotko. I always think he should be better than what he actually is. So I'm going to go Strickland by decision.
I'm inclined to agree as well. Yon Kutalaba is coming out again. Not against Ankalaev this time.
Thank God for that. Who's
Watch
he facing?
He's fighting Dustin Jacoby.
Who the fuck is that? Has he fought?
I don't know.
Has he fought in the UFC?
Let me have a little quick look for you. He's 33. Yes, he has. He fought on Rosenstruck Garn in February, won by decision. And before that, he fought Justin Ledette.
Okay.
KO'd him.
Oh, okay.
14-5.
I'm going to go Kutilaba. What's next?
Name recognition. This is a good fight. Good fights. He got newly ranked 14th and 15th of featherweight. Somehow.
Oh, yes.
Johnson back in there, and he's fighting Giga Chikadze.
Yeah, Chikadze's going to piece him up. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have thought so. I really see no path to victory for Swanson.
No.
But, I'm a bit anxious after what happened over the weekend, so we will see. But no, Giga Chikadze, he's getting some momentum now, which is great to see.
Yep.
And then, of course, the main event is Reyes Prohaska.
Prohaska's going to win by knockout.
Oof.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's everything for today.
Yeah. Oh, we'll be back for Oliveira Chandler. Maybe we'll come back in the interim with something a bit different. I've got something in mind that I'll suggest to Tom. Just as like a little filler type thing. What's replacing Dillashaw Sandhagen?
As of right now, there's one fight on that card. I think I saw they were going to line up some of the ladies, but they've only got Park Jun-Yong versus Tafon Nchukui.
Here we go. I've got it here. Michelle Waterson versus Marina Rodriguez. Oh, man, that is rough. I'm sorry. I don't mean... Listen, Tom knows this. I watch the women's fights because I like to try and see if there's someone coming through that I can, like, put a bit of money on down the line or whatever, but...
As a main event, seems
it's a bit grim, isn't it?
Seems a bit of an ask.
Listen, they need off weeks. Anyway, thank you, Tom. This has been a pleasure. Always a pleasure, never a chore. And listeners, we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Oliveira versus Chandler, Diaz Edwards, and what else is there?
Ferguson and Dariush.
That will bang. All right.
They've also got Burgos and Barbosa on there. So we're in for a treat.
Oh,
Hopefully
my days. I'm giving the Robert Whittaker chest slap. Oh, get that in me. Oh, great. And what's... Oh, wait. Oh, also, Caitlin Chukagian. All right, anyway, I'll see you later, Tom, and thank you, listeners.
Cheers, Joe.